Hey guys, welcome to another Skin Jobs tutorial. I'm excited. We have three new skull stencils. Here they are. I've already painted them today on a Ford Raptor body. The skulls are absolutely fantastic, and the great thing is now we're not using a regular plotter with a blade. We purchased a hobby laser, so all of my stencils now are going to be laser cut. They're going to have very crisp lines, and the great thing about the hobby lasers, we can shrink these stencils down to be really, really small if we need them to be. So I'm going to do a tutorial really quickly, guys, and walk you through. I'm going to be using this thin piece of Lexan I have here with candy green. I'm going to spray 3 coats. I'm using Createx, the candy green from Createx. It's mixed 1-to-1, 1 part paint, 1 part reducer. I'm using my Pache Talon. I'm spraying at about 50 psi. And I'm going to lay down about 3 coats of candy green onto this piece of plastic, and you see how it's curled. But I love this heat gun. Once that heat gun gets to this plastic, it kind of loosens it up and lets it lay nice and flat. If you've noticed, you see my Skin Jobs logo. Cut that out with the hobby laser, and I love that thing. So the stencils are going to be fantastic, and I'm already starting a complete line. I'm going to be doing dots and honeycombs and everything, all types of skulls and tombstones, lightning, whatever you guys can think of. I'm going to be making stencils for the RC world. So this is the first new skull stencil that I have. Of course, as it's candy green, I'm outlining this in white so I can get a ghost effect. You see, I sprayed in the eyes, I sprayed in the mouth. I want to get these really bright features in the skull. The great thing about the new hobby laser is, I can actually shrink my stencils down really, really small and not lose the detail in the cut. So what I'm thinking of doing is doing multiples. I give you a small stencil and a mid-size stencil. So some people might want to put it on the door, they might want to put it on the hood, but they don't want it too big and they don't want it too small. So I'm considering doing 2 of each stencil in the set. You'll get a small and you'll get a large. You get a small or you get a medium in your sets, excuse me. So right now I'm doing my usual. I'm adding some shadows and some highlights. And because I'm using candy colors, I do this very lightly. The effect is there. So, sometimes a little equals a lot. You get a lot more sometimes when you go with just a little bit of work. This is the second stencil here. This is a 4 skull stencil. Again, it's different than the other ones that I have. And you'll be able to find these stencil sets on our Facebook page. We're Skin Jobs RC on Facebook, and we're Skin Jobs RC on eBay, on our eBay store as well. So, if you're interested in the stencils, just go and check them out. Make a purchase. They're very inexpensive, and considering that not many people are continually making stencils for the RC world, you'd be pretty surprised that the stencil price is actually very, very affordable. So what I did with this stencil was I broke it up. I put 2 skulls on one side of the main and 2 on the other. And again, I'm adding my shadows and my highlights because it's a stencil, so you're just basically getting an outline. And as an artist, you have to do the work to bring this thing to life, to give it some depth, to give it some realism, to make it look more like a real skull. This is the 3rd skull that's in the set. It's a single skull, but it has a lot of detail and it's a profile. It looks more like a real skull. So it's a great addition to this 3-piece set, where the first one, the mouth is wide open and it's warped a little, so it looks more like a fantasy skull. The 4-piece set, they're not as detailed. They're more basic skulls. But this third piece, this single piece, has a lot more detail in it for those who want a skull that they can actually make look more realistic without as much effort. Now, I finished the skull work. What I'm doing now is just laying some licks for the flames, just to give you guys a show of what you can possibly do once you've completed the skull set. And again, I'm using candy green. My white is also reduced 1-to-1, but it's wicked white. So, with the wicked colors, like my wicked black, you can reduce this stuff 1-to-1, 2-to-1 if you want, and it still sprays and it gives you great cohesion. So, you see, I'll use my own reducers. I make my own reducers, and I haven't had any tip dry while I'm spraying here. I'm just, mixing my colors one on top of each other inside the guns, and it just, the paints just flow and work very well, and the heat gun doesn't hurt either. So this is the finished product. Again, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments for me. See, real simple. But you see the highlights and the shadows, they help when you're doing ghost skulls with flames. So that's just one of the tricks, and it's all done by me at Skin Jobs. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, check us out on Facebook. I have a group on Facebook also. It's for airbrush tricks and tips. If you look that up, you'll find us, and we have a lot of great artists there who paint RC bodies. Is all for RC bodies. There's no other junk or spam on the group. It's strictly about RC bodies, painting and stuff. And I did this body today and put it on Facebook, and it sold in 5 seconds. It was gone. So that's it. Thanks a lot, guys.